The F1 season is heating up, and with the action returning to the electrifying circuit of the Americas this weekend, the championship battle has never been more thrilling. Lando Norris is determined to close the gap on Max Verstappen, aiming to take advantage of Red Bull's fading mid-season dominance. Will this be the turning point in the title race? Or will Verstappen's mental edge prove too strong for the McLaren ace? Stick around to find out, because what happens in these final 6 races could change everything. Don't miss a second of this gripping story. It's a race to the finish line, and every decision matters. As the F1 circus rolls into Coda, the tension in the championship fight intensifies. Lando Norris is focused on cutting down Verstappen's lead and capitalizing on Red Bull's recent dip in performance. Though Verstappen and Norris are worlds apart in terms of experience and past achievements, Red Bull's advisor Helmut Marko has reignited psychological warfare, hinting that mental strength will decide who emerges victorious this season. At the start of the year, it seemed like Red Bull and Verstappen would easily secure another double championship. However, McLaren has dramatically disrupted those expectations, seizing the upper hand in the constructors' standings with a 41-point advantage. On the driver front, Norris has shrunk Verstappen's lead to just 52 points, with only 6 races left on the calendar. Verstappen, who hasn't tasted victory in his last 8 outings, now finds himself under increasing pressure as McLaren continues to excel, especially after Norris's dominant victory in Singapore, where he crossed the line 21 seconds ahead of the competition. Max Verstappen has spent most of this season on the defensive, fighting to maintain his lead as Lando Norris and McLaren close in. Despite McLaren's recent upgrades giving them a clear edge, especially since the European leg of the championship, the reigning champion has managed to limit his losses. Verstappen's consistency, paired with McLaren's occasional strategic blunders, has kept him in control of the title race. Yet, with only 6 races to go, Red Bull must address their setbacks to avoid losing both the drivers' and constructors' titles to McLaren. According to Helmut Marko, Verstappen's mental toughness will be the decisive factor in whether he can fend off Norris. Marko stressed that Verstappen not only possesses speed but also the psychological resilience to outlast rivals like Charles Leclerc and Norris in a high-pressure fight. He even hinted at Norris's vulnerabilities, citing the driver's reliance on pre-race rituals as a sign of mental fragility. Helmut Marko's sharp comments about Norris's mental game are not unusual, as the outspoken Red Bull advisor is known for his candid opinions. His confidence in Verstappen, however, goes beyond talent and speed. Marko believes Max's ability to handle the pressure sets him apart from the competition. While Norris has only recently been recognized as a serious title threat, there remains doubt about how he'll manage the stress of an extended championship battle. This skepticism is likely to fuel more provocative remarks from Marko as the final races approach. Adding to the excitement, the remaining calendar features 3 sprint races, which could shake up the standings even further. While this is Norris's first shot at an F1 title, he insists that overthinking will only hinder his performance. "It's pointless to dwell on the bigger picture," he said. "I just need to focus on one race at a time. First Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday." According to Norris, the key to success is staying grounded and making smart decisions under pressure. Lando Norris sits 52 points behind Max Verstappen in the standings, meaning he'll need to outscore the reigning champion by at least 9 points per race to stand a chance at winning the title. Though the task seems daunting, Norris remains optimistic, convinced that the championship is still within reach. McLaren has made remarkable progress throughout the season, with their MCL38 emerging as the top-performing car on the grid. In stark contrast, Red Bull has encountered setbacks, including issues with their car upgrades following the Hungarian Grand Prix, which forced them to roll back key changes. Norris's first career victory in Miami gave him the confidence boost he needed, and he's since added 2 more wins to his name. His recent success has cut Verstappen's lead by 26 points over the past 4 races. Yet, the challenge ahead remains steep. If Norris wins every remaining race, secures the fastest lap points, and claims victory in all 3 sprints, Verstappen can still take the championship by finishing second in each event. With the odds stacked against him, Lando Norris knows that to stay in the championship fight, he and McLaren must execute their strategy perfectly in every remaining race. Reflecting on the team's recent progress, Norris said, "We've done a great job, especially getting Oscar Piastri into P3. But to beat Max, we need to keep this momentum going until the very last race." Though catching Verstappen won't be easy, Norris believes that with flawless teamwork and consistent performances, anything is possible. If both Norris and Verstappen enter the final race in Abu Dhabi tied on points, the title could come down to who has more victories. Verstappen currently leads with 7 wins to Norris's 3, which could prove decisive if the points battle goes to the wire. There's still work to do, Norris admitted. It's not just Red Bull, it's also Max, one of the toughest competitors this sport has ever seen. Despite his calm demeanor, Norris is acutely aware of the challenges that lie ahead, knowing he's up against one of the most dominant driver-team combinations in F1 history. The big question now is whether Norris can maintain his recent form and keep the title fight alive this weekend. While McLaren has overtaken Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, the driver's title remains fiercely contested. Red Bull's dominance from their record-breaking 2023 season is starting to unravel, and internal struggles within the team have only added to their troubles. Team principal Christian Horner was involved in an off-track investigation earlier in the season, which disrupted the team's focus. Although the case was dismissed and the appeal rejected, rumors of internal power struggles continue to swirl, further complicating Red Bull's campaign. Since the passing of Red Bull's founder, Dietrich Mateschitz, the team has seen significant structural changes. Marko confirmed that Horner has taken on expanded responsibilities, but managing such transitions has been challenging. Despite these issues, Red Bull's primary focus remains on securing another world championship and keeping Verstappen at the top. The tension within the team, however, has provided McLaren and Norris with a valuable opening to push their title ambitions. While Verstappen still holds a 52-point lead, the cracks in Red Bull's armor are starting to show, and McLaren is taking full advantage. The MCL38 has set a new standard on the grid, proving to be the car to beat in the latter half of the season. As McLaren continues to improve, Red Bull finds itself on the back foot. Verstappen, despite his immense talent, hasn't managed to win in his last 8 races, a streak that has placed even more pressure on him and his team. Amid these challenges, both Marko and Horner have admitted that Verstappen's contract includes a performance-based release clause, adding even more intrigue to the season's climax. Teams like Mercedes and Aston Martin are rumored to be monitoring the situation closely, prepared to make a move if Verstappen or Red Bull falter. Marko emphasized that 2023 was an extraordinary season, and while 2024 started strong, Red Bull's internal disruptions and McLaren's resurgence have complicated their journey toward another title. Despite McLaren's rapid rise, Red Bull is determined to regain control before the season slips away. Marko acknowledged that the team's internal issues with Horner disrupted their momentum, but they've reached a mutual understanding winning the championship must remain their primary focus. "We sat down as a team and agreed that our goal is simple: deliver a winning car and keep Max at the top," Marko explained. The loss of Dietrich Mateschitz created a significant void, and Horner's expanded role has brought both challenges and new responsibilities, reshaping the team dynamic. Meanwhile, Lando Norris's confidence continues to grow, bolstered by his recent victory in Singapore. Norris believes he still has a realistic shot at the title if he continues to perform at this level. Verstappen, however, remains the driver to beat. Max is relentless, Norris admitted, recognizing that he's up against one of the toughest competitors F1 has ever seen. With 6 races and 3 sprints remaining, the championship remains wide open, and the fight promises to go down to the wire. The title race is becoming a thrilling showdown, with Norris narrowing the gap race by race. However, Verstappen's consistency and experience mean that McLaren will need more than just speed to pull off an upset. Even if Norris wins every remaining race and sprint, Verstappen only needs second-place finishes to secure the title by a single point, a stark reminder of just how difficult Norris's challenge is. Despite the odds, Norris remains focused. "It's not about thinking too far ahead. It's about taking things one step at a time." Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he said, emphasizing the importance of staying grounded under pressure. McLaren knows that any slip-ups could hand the championship back to Verstappen on a silver platter. Their strategy revolves around flawless execution, race after race, with the hope that Red Bull's recent struggles will continue to create openings. As the season draws closer to its climax, the possibility of the title being decided in Abu Dhabi looms large. If Norris and Verstappen end up tied on points, the championship could be determined by who has more wins throughout the season. With Verstappen currently leading 7-3 in victories, every remaining race carries even greater significance for Norris. He knows that closing the gap will require not just skill but also precision at every turn. Despite the friendly relationship they share off the track, both drivers are fully aware that once the lights go out, it's all business. "I know I have a lot of work to do," Norris admitted. It's going to be tough. Red Bull and Max are a pairing that's dominated F1 like no other. But we're not backing down. Red Bull, meanwhile, is scrambling to fix the issues that have plagued them in recent races, knowing that if they fail, McLaren could pull off one of the biggest upsets in F1 history. With just a few races left, every decision, pit stop, and strategy will play a pivotal role in determining the 2024 F1 champion. For Lando Norris, it's not just about chasing down Max Verstappen, it's about proving that he belongs among the elite. His performance this season has already silenced many doubters, but the ultimate goal is still within reach. McLaren's recent improvements have given him the tools, and now it's up to him to capitalize on every opportunity. On the other side, Verstappen is determined to defend his crown and secure a fourth consecutive title. "I know what's at stake, and I'm ready for it," Verstappen said, making it clear that he's not about to let this title slip through his fingers. The storylines are perfectly set: a young challenger rising against an experienced champion, with everything on the line. Will the reign of Verstappen continue, or will Norris complete one of the greatest comebacks in F1 history? Only time will tell, and as we approach the final lap of this electrifying season, one thing is certain: fans are in for a thrilling conclusion. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Will Verstappen defend his crown, or is Norris destined to lift his first ever World Championship trophy?